Peace and blessings. I hope everybody is well. Today I want to make a short video about this logo. This is the logo of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Now what I want to show you is how this logo is the church's very own version of this logo, the logo of the Freemasons. And I'm going to explain it to you now. So first of all, let's look at that logo again. As you can see, we have Christ in the center, okay? But Christ is in a frame, okay? Now, the frame really tells us a lot. If you look at the top of this frame, it is curved, okay? Now, the bottom is square, okay? So Christ is in a frame where the top is a half of a circle and the bottom is a square. It's squared off, okay? Now, what makes circles? A compasses, right? And this is the church's version of the compasses, all right? Now, what makes squares down on the bottom under Christ? What makes squares? A square. It makes a perfect square, okay? So these are two shapes that are made by Masonic tools, okay? Now, if you look at the Masonic logo, okay, you see, you have the G in the center, which stands for God or geometry, okay? Once you understand what God truly is, you understand that they're both one and the same. God and geometry, it's all connected, okay? From one dot to the next, from the unknown to the known, okay? So here you have the compasses on top and the square on the bottom. Are you seeing it now? Okay. Let's look back at the church's logo. You have the half circle on top. What makes circles? A compasses. You have the square on the bottom. Okay. That's a square. Christ in the center, representing God, representing geometry, okay? That's all there is to it. Now, this is sometimes this frame that is shaped square on the bottom and curved on the top is often used in alchemy art. You'll see a lot of alchemy pictures in this frame, or sometimes they'll make windows in the background of the art. You'll see in a place where an alchemist is working and he's doing his work. You can see in the back of the room there might be a window that is shaped exactly like this. But this shape is used in architecture in homes as well, and it's sometimes referred to as the Tuscan design. Okay, and it goes back to Rome and obviously before that as well. So anyways, what it represents is the lower half, the square. It can represent the earth, okay, the physical realm, material, okay, and matter. And as you look at the top where it's angled, this is symbolic, where it's curved, the compasses. This is symbolic of the heavens, the spiritual, the unseen, okay? And in the middle where Christ is, what that is a representation of is where heaven and earth, the physical, the physical and the spiritual meet. They come together and they create something that is both, okay? Like a human being, for example. And that's what the Christ represents. That which is both composed of spirit and matter, okay? And that's all there is to it, plain and simple. And you have the compasses on top, which also represents the feminine and the female attributes, and also the square on the bottom representing the masculine attributes and the male counterpart, right? And these two come together, the male and the female parts, to create, okay? And so Christ is, as the scriptures tell us, God in the flesh, Okay, and what is meant by God in the flesh? What is meant by God in the flesh is anything that comes into existence, because it takes both that which is unseen and that which is seen, that which is spiritual and that which is physical, to come together to manifest something and bring it into existence. And it is a, you know, Christ really is the mediator. He really is the symbol of that which mediates between the physical and the spiritual. Each of us is a Christ. Everything that you see is a Christ, because it is the unknown revealing itself through the known, the physical, okay? Now, let's talk a little bit deeper, maybe not deeper, but let's point out some examples in the church where this is uh, more noticed. So, where do we find the compasses and the square in the church? Well, obviously, on our garments, right? The compasses and the square and the level. The church has produced a video about garments. Also, if you look at this, I believe this is the Kirtland Temple. You'll see that this is in the original design. It has an angel here that was on top of the church, and it has a compasses and a square on it, as you can see there. And they did not use that design. I think it was just way too obvious that Freemasonry was an inspirational part of the church, so they took that out. Also, this is, I believe, the Nauvoo Temple. If you look, anytime that you see a circle, like here, with 4 notches in it, a circle with 4 notches around it, that is a representation of the compasses and the square, because you have the circle as a representation of the compasses and the 4 notches that make the square representing the square. Okay, you have these 2 elements represented here. Now, if you look at the Columbus, Ohio Temple, for example, it's all over the windows. And you see a lot of circles here. Around those circles are squares. That is your square and your compasses. Okay. Now, I've done a lot of work in this temple. It's been a pleasant experience there, and something else that a lot of people may not know about the temple is that when you walk in, you're on a lower part of the ground. But as you move towards the celestial room, as you go back towards the celestial room, the floor elevates. Now, a lot of people don't know why. They have no. A lot of people don't even notice. They don't think anything of it. But as you progress through the temple, you go up higher. The floor actually elevates from a lower to a higher degree. Okay, so you're moving up degrees. You're getting higher. You're moving more towards the spiritual plane. Okay, you're coming to light, true understanding, the spiritual realm. Right. Okay. Anyways, so that was the Columbus Temple, and here I believe it's pronounced Buena Vista, Virginia. There is a young adults meeting house. And as you can see on the end of it, you find the same design. It is a circle with 4 notches on the end there. That is the compasses and the square. Now, they stress these symbols because they are significant. Whether you believe in the LDS religion or not, a lot of other traditions use the compasses and the square because they teach scientifically spiritual truths. Okay, and it goes way back to ancient Kemet, even before ancient Kemet. These teachings, as above so below, male and female opposition, basically determining creation. But it's being emphasized, and it's there to teach us. And a lot of times, these symbols that aren't understood, there's still registered. The brain and the mind still pick them up. And these symbols, even if you don't know what they mean, they still work on your subconscious. Um, but, anyways, that is the square and the compasses in the church. If you want to know any more information about it, let me know. If you want me to get into any more detail, I would be glad to. You guys have a good one.